Hello guys, I hope you all are doing good. I am Vaishali Kikan and we are discussing the digital circuits. Today in this video, we are going to understand the simplification of the Boolean expression using the Karnaugh map. So we already had discussed the K map and we already had understood how to draw the K map for any of the Boolean function in the last class. If the Boolean function will be having 2 variables, 3 variables, 4 variables, we know how to make the K map. Right now we are moving towards the simplification using the K map. So how to simplify if we have drawn the K map? If you have still not watched the previous video and you don't know how to draw the K map, it is highly recommended that you go back, watch the previous video first and then come to this video. Here we are going to understand the simplification using the K map. So first of all, we are going to understand the grouping of the cells for simplification. Here in the map method, we are going to group the cells for the simplification purposes. Right? So what is grouping? Grouping is the combining of the terms in the adjacent cells. So we have some rules where we can group the cells. Right? First of all, first rule is that the neighboring cells in rows are adjacent. If I see this 4 variable K map, right? So if I see the neighboring cells in the row, so these 2 cells are neighbors in the row, so these can be grouped. Obviously these 2 cells are also neighboring in the row, these can be grouped. These also can be grouped. So neighboring cells in the row, any of the neighboring cells in the row can be grouped together, right? So if I have 1 and 1 present on these 2 cells, we can group these 2 ones. 1 and 1 present in these 2 cells, we can group. 1 and 1 present in these 2 cells, we can group. Whenever we have 1 and 1 neighboring in the adjacent cells in the K map, we can group them. Similarly, the neighboring cells in the columns are adjacent. So if I see over here, the neighboring cells in the columns are there. Right, so these neighboring cells, any column you can see, if I see the neighboring cells, they are adjacent to each other, right? Leftmost and corresponding rightmost cells are adjacent. So here you can see this cell is adjacent to this cell. This cell is adjacent to this cell. This cell is adjacent to this cell. And similarly, this cell is adjacent to this cell. Similarly, top and corresponding bottom cells are adjacent. So I can say this cell and this cell are adjacent. 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 So as of now, we have understood how we can make the grouping. Now coming to the grouping of the 2 adjacent ones, that is a pair. So here you can see we have this K map. In the K map we have A and BC over here. Right, so A is taking the value 0 and 1 and BC is taking the value 0, 0, 0 and 1, 1 and 1, 0. Now here you can see we have 1 and 1 over here. So these 2 ones can be grouped, right? We know these are the neighboring rows and neighboring cells in the rows. So now we can group each other. So when we group these, so let's understand what are the min terms, how we can do the simplification by this grouping. So when I group these, so this cell represents A dash B dash C, because here A is 0, B is 0, 1. A dash B dash C. Here A is 0 and B is 1, 1. B and C is 1, 1. So here we will be having A dash B C, because 1, 1 is representing B C and A is 0 representing A dash. So A dash B dash C plus A dash B C we have if I combine these 2 cells. Now what I can do, I can take A dash and C common and B dash plus B will be adding up to give me 1. So any of the variable plus its complement is equal to 1. So I am left out with A dash and C. What are A dash and C? If you see, A dash is not changing in these two cells. A dash is 0 or A is 0 for these 2 cells. Even if I see the C, that is also 1 for these 2 cells. If I see the B is having here the value 0 and here the value 1. So B is changing its value and I can say I can then eliminate B, right? So I will be left out with A dash and C. We have to look for the variables which are common and which are not changing in the group. So now here you can see we are making the group in this column, right? So here you can see this and this column is making a group, and here you can see A is changing. A is 0 and 1 over here in these two. If I see B and C, B is 0 and C is 1 for these two. So it can be represented as B dash C, right? So Y will be equal to B dash C over here. Now coming to this case. In this case you can see we are making a group where we have the leftmost and rightmost cell are making a group. This is making a pair. So here you can see A is common. A is 1 for this as well as this. So I will be taking A as it is. Now if I see B and C, B is here 0, B is here 1, C is here 0, C is here 0. So C dash is common, B is changing. So I will eliminate B. So Y is equal to AC dash. Similarly here you can see we have now two pairs. First I can combine these two rows and then I can combine these two columns as well. So for these two rows A is 0 and here you can see B is changing, C is 1. So A is 0 representing by A dash and B is changing, eliminate B, C is 1, represent it as C. If I observe these two columns, right, so these two cells in the columns are having A different 0 and 1, so eliminate A. B and C are 1 1, so here we have BC. So A dash C plus BC is my simplified answer. So now you can just look at the cells and you can find out what is the simplified answer. So now here you can see we have a 4 variable map, and here also uppermost and the lowermost cell are making a pair. So here you can see we have AB as 0 0 and here AB is 1 0. So A is changing, so I will be taking B as B dash only, right? And here C, D are 0 and 1 for both of them. So C dash D are taking as it is, and here for A, B we have elimination of the A because A is changing from 0 to 1, B is as it is as B dash. So B dash C dash D is the simplified form. Similarly, we can form the quad. What is the quad? Quad is the grouping of the 4 adjacent ones. So here you can see we have combined these 4 ones. And for these 4 ones, if I see BC over here, BC here would be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0. BC are changing for each one of the cell, whereas A over here is 1 for each one of them. So whatever is not changing, we are taking that. So Y will be equal to A. Here you can see we have the grouping of the 4 cells which are here, here, here and here. So we are making the group with these 4 cells which are leftmost and rightmost. So here if you see A is changing from 0 to 1 for these 4 cells. Now if I observe B and C, right? So now if I observe B and C, here we will be having 0, 0 and here we will be having 1 0, right? So here B is changing from 0 to 1 and C is 0 only. So Y is represented as C dash only because only C is not changing over here and which is 0. So Y is C dash. Now here you can see again we have 1 1 1 1 and over here this is my 1 1 which is not changing for C and D. So Y will be equal to CD over here. A, B will be changing in all of these rows, right? For all of these columns, my AB will be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0. So A and B are eliminated and we are left out with Y is equal to CD. Now here you can see we have over here 0, 1 and 1, 1. Here also we have 0, 1 and 1, 1. Now if I see over here A is eliminated, B is 1. So B I have taken and from here C is eliminated and D is 1. So Y is equal to BD is the answer. So here again you can see here, right, what are the coefficients over here. So it is 1 1, it is 1 0 and here it is representing my 1 0 and it is representing my 0 0. So in 1 1 and 1 0 I have A common, so I am representing it as A, and in 0 0 and 1 0 I have D dash common, so I will be representing it as D dash. Now I can have the grouping for 4 corners of the K-map as well. Here we have the grouping as left and the right corner. Here we have the grouping as upper down corner and the left and right corner. So these four can be combined as a quad. So now here you can see this is representing my 1 0, this is representing my 0 0. So in both of them D dash is common, so here I have written D dash. Here again 0 0 and it is 1 0, so here B dash is common, so I have written B dash. So Y is equal to B dash, D dash is the simplified expression. Now coming to the grouping of 8 cells, which is known as octet. So now here you can see we have clubbed over here 8 ones which are in the rows and columns. So these can be clubbed, right? So now here this is the first type of clubbing, and here again if I see, so if I see in these columns, if I see 0 0 0 1 1 1 and 1 0, these would be different. So C and D would not be appearing in the simplified expression. And here if I see this row represents 0 1 and this row represents 1 1. So here what is common? Only the common thing is B. So the Y is equal to B is the answer. Here also if you see, here we have 0 0 and here we have 1 0. So here you can see A is changing, only B dash is common, so Y is equal to B dash is the answer. Here if you see, here all of these A, B are changing from 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. If I see CD, here is 0 0 and here it is 1 0. C is changing, only D dash is common, so Y is equal to D dash. Now coming to the illegal grouping, these are the grouping that we can make, the pair, the quad, the octet, we can make for the simplification purposes, but there are some grouping that we cannot make, like the diagonal grouping. So these two ones are diagonal to each other, we cannot combine them to form a pair, right? Even we cannot group odd number of cells, we cannot group 6 ones as well, right? So we can make pair, we can make quad, and we can make octet. In between it, I cannot make any kind of grouping, right? So now coming to the various steps for the simplification of the sum of product expressions. So first of all, we have to plot the K-map. Now in the K-map, we have to place ones in the cell which is corresponding to the ones in the truth table, or which are corresponding to the SOP expressions and place in the all of the other cells. Right, now we have to check the grouping possibility and we have to uncircle all of the isolated ones which can never be grouped, right? Then we have to form the pairs, quads and octets. First of all, we have to make the pairs, then we have to make the quads, and then we have to make the octets, and we have to ensure that there is no more than one grouping for each cells, right? So each one of the cell is grouped only once. We are not having the bigger and bigger grouping for only single one, right? So that should not be there. Make sure that there are minimum number of groups and all ones are grouped, right? So you cannot make the double grouping. If one is already grouped, don't make it in another group even if it is possible. Form simplified expression by SOP terms for all of the groups. So now let's understand how we can simplify this expression using the K-map method. So now here you can see we have 3 variables. So how many cells I will be having? I will be having 8 cells in the K-map, right? So here I will be representing A as 0 and 1, and here I am representing BC as 0 0, 0 1, 1 1 and 1 0. Right, so now here I have A, B dash, C. So A is 1 and B is 0 and C is 1, right? So here at this location I will be having 1 for A, B dash, C. A dash, B dash, C. So A dash, B dash, A is 0, B is 0 and C is 1. So here also I will be having 1. A dash and B and C. So A dash, A is 0 and BC is represented by 1, 1. So here also I have 1. A, B dash, C dash. So here A is represented by 1 and B dash and C dash are represented by this. So here in this column, in this row, I will be having 1. Then we have A dash, B dash, C dash. So A dash, B dash, C dash is representing all 0, which is this. Now I have to make the grouping, right? So which all grouping I can have? First of all, we have to encircle isolated ones. There is no isolated one, so now we have to move to the next step. First of all, I have to make the pairs, right? So this can be made in a pair, right? But now if I make these also in pair, there is a possibility to make these 4 in the quad, right? So these 4 can be combined together to form a quad. So now I will not be making further pairs in these 2 ones, right? So first of all, I had made a quad, and after that only this one was left. It was made with this one as a pair. So now if I see these 4 ones, A is changing over here as 0 and 1, B is same, B is 0 and 0 over here. So I will be writing B dash as the simplified expression for this quad. C is changing from 0 to 1, so C is not there, so C is eliminated. Now here if I see this pair, so for this pair A is 0, so A is 0 is represented as A dash, and over here if I see B, B is changing from 0 to 1, I will eliminate B, and if I see C, C is 1 and 1, so A dash C. So y is equal to B dash plus A dash C is my simplified expression for this question, right? So now coming to this question, here we have how many variables? 4 variables are there. So if I make the K map, in the K map I will be making 16 cells, right? So first of all, let's make the 16 cells in the K map. So now here you can see I have made a 16 cells, 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. If you write these representations, so it will make your life easier, right? So try always to write these representation and try to write for variables these are representing. It is representing A, B and C, D, right? So now here in the form of min terms it is given. So now we know the min term 0 is this location, so at 0th location I am going to put a 1, at first location I am going to put a 1, then at the 4th location, this is my 2nd, this is my 3rd and this is my 4th location, I am going to put a 1. Now at the 8th location, this is 5th, this is 6th, this is 7th, now this is 8. So at the 8th location I am going to put a 1, at the 9th location, this is my 9th location, I am going to put a 1. Now at the 10th location, this is my 10th location, I am going to put a 1, right? So here you can see at all of the other places I am going to put zeros. Now again you can see we are not having any of the one which cannot be paired, so there are no isolated ones. Now if I observe it, first of all if I want to make a quad, so this quad will be formed, right? So in the upper side and the bottom side I will be grouping 2 1s and I will be making a quad, right? So this quad is represented by here AB are 0 0 and here AB are 1 0. A is eliminated, B is 0, so it is B dash. If I observe C and D, C is 0 for both of the cases, so it is represented as C dash, D is changing, D is eliminated, right? Now if I see these 2 ones, so these 2 ones which are not paired, here I can pair this one with this one, right? And now if I observe this one, here A is 0, so it is represented as A dash. Now here both C and D are 0, so I can represent it as C dash and D dash, right? After that if I make the pair of this one, I can make the pair of this one with this one, right? So we have the leftmost and the rightmost cell paired. So now here if I observe A and B, so if I observe A and B over here, it is 1 0 for both of them, so I can represent it as AB dash. If I observe C and D over here are 0 0 and here are 1 0, so C is eliminated, D is 0, so A, B dash, D dash. So in this manner we can simplify the given expression. So y will be equal to B dash C dash plus A dash C dash D plus A B dash D dash. So I hope you understood how we can use the K-map method for simplification of any of the Boolean algebra. If you are given with any of the Boolean function, now you can simplify it with the help of the K-map. If the Boolean function is having 2 variable, 3 variable or 4 variable, Now you are in a position to simplify the Boolean expression or Boolean function with the help of the K-map method. If you have any doubt now, you can put the doubt in the comment and I will be trying to resolve your doubt as soon as possible. I hope you like this session. If you like it, please push the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends and also give me your feedback. Thank you so much, and don't forget to download our mobile app Vaishali's e-learning in your phone. Thanks once again.